Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
This is what happens when you stand up for your rights. You get tackled by the police.
A violent takedown of a senior citizen who attempted to enter this restaurant without presenting his vaccine passport.
I've got some bruising or cracked ribs.
67-year-old Vancouver resident Drew Truebits say that his intention was to stand outside the restaurant to protest medical segregation policies.
You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, honestly.
But the police say they were flagged down by staff for a group of men who refused to display their vaccine passport upon entry.
The officer did not approach and say, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you to step outside?" If he had done that, Drew would have definitely stepped outside, right? And talked with him. No, like I said, I was there, and I was more out of the corner of my eye. All of a sudden feel this commotion. I turned to look, and the officer has tackled Drew to the ground. Police officer who came and tackled somebody.
In the video, allegedly a restaurant employee was caught kneeling on the already restrained man's legs.
My knee was put out of joint or something, so I got multiple injuries for sure.
Because he's here for his own rights.
The police alleges that Drew physically resisted staff, and as a result, he was taken down by an officer.
And at no point was there a physical fight. Absolutely not.
Did he make any physical threats to anyone?
I'm so sorry, we're not commenting on the issue.
The restaurant manager refused to answer. Central planners are at it again. This video from Ontario shows a mother getting arrested by thugs with badges in front of her children for not providing her vaccination status.
I have my vaccine.
Another video from Ontario shows this old lady who lost her vaccination papers being refused service at McDonald's. But this video from British Columbia is perhaps the most violent one so far. Vaccine passport continues to cause division between Canadians.
Nobody has the right to ask your medical condition. So what they did was they called the police here at Earl's, and they had the police come and arrest the man. We are a group of concerned citizens that decided we were going to go out to the restaurants with a peaceful protest and some signs to just try to expose the vaccine passport. Great job, everybody. Way to take people's rights and freedoms away.
It's supposed to be a peaceful rally, and I had a sign and was supposed to stand outside the restaurant and just have a peaceful discussion.
So what happened is the gentleman that works with us, he's here to let them know that vaccine passports are illegal and they are against the law.
You had a sign in your hand. What did the sign read?
Medical segregation. I can't eat here.
According to the statement released by Mr. Drew, he was supposed to calmly stand outside the restaurant and hold a sign and answer questions. Quote, "I am always the one who is always preaching a soft approach. I broke my own rules." Vancouver police allege that, quote, "When staff had asked the group to leave the business, the man became verbally aggressive, belligerent, and physically resisted staff."
This is in Canada. This is in Canada. If you can, people are on edge. You can feel it in the air. So Drew is already inside speaking with a couple staff members at the front. Drew was trying to explain what they were doing was illegal. They were asking him to leave. And so there wasn't a group inside. Like they're saying there was a group of gentlemen. There wasn't. It was just Drew. And I was kind of like at the edge of the door. Welcome to Nazi Germany. This is segregation. Great job, brother. And I could see that both sides were getting pretty heated back and forth. Drew was not aggressive. Best word you could use maybe is it got obnoxious, perhaps.
When employees tried to get him to leave, Mr. Drew says, quote, "I got loud. What's the health status of your employees? Do they have herpes, hepatitis, AIDS, etc.? I went to the restaurant where the incident took place to ask them if indeed Mr. Drew posed a physical threat to anyone, but I was shown the way out by the manager." I just had one question. I just wanted to know, did he make any physical threats to anyone?
I'm so sorry, we're not commenting on the issue. You're going to have to go to the media at Earl's downstairs for any comments.
Okay. I just found it interesting that a man who came in with healthy and... Okay, yeah.
We're not making any comments on it. Thank you, though. Have a good day.
Thanks. It's interesting, though.
Have a good one.
The restaurant chain Earl's didn't return to my email. And the manager refused to answer if indeed Mr. Drew was physical, and if indeed the person kneeling on his legs was an employee. It is clear that this civil disobedience didn't go according to plan when Drew stepped inside the restaurant and didn't leave when he was asked to leave.
I've got some bruising or cracked ribs, and it seems like my one of my kidneys is really aching, and my knee was put out of joint or something. So I got multiple injuries for sure.
Oh, look, and he's got a good friend to help him out. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, honestly.
Sorry? I just want to make sure that he's being dealt with appropriately, right? Just help him out.
Wait, but
Is your knee injury related to the alleged employee kneeling on you?
Yeah, it was the employee.
Did the cop attempted to talk to you at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all. He just came in and grabbed you, and because there's no video footage of what happened before.
Yeah, he just reached his arm in and grabbed me, and I kind of resisted, so he elbowed me in the throat, and then he took me down with all of his body weight on top of my chest.
Was that your observation too?
absolutely, it was a crazy, over the top, and I'm not sure that the gentleman that knelt on his leg worked there. If he did, he was off work and hanging out in the restaurant or something. I thought he was actually just a customer myself. That's the impression I got. But yeah, the police officer was a very large man, you could see in the video, and Drew is a very slight man. And again, the officer did not approach and say, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you to step outside?" If he had done that, Drew would have definitely stepped outside, right?
Well, when the officer was handcuffing me, he told me that I was being charged with creating a disturbance, but he wrote me a ticket, and it said that not conforming to liquor and food license rules, regulations, or whatever, something like that.
For the sake of logic and consistency, if a private business can discriminate against people based on their vaccination status on the basis of private property rights, then the businesses which refuse to discriminate against people based on their vaccination status can also seek refuge under the private property rights argument. But as you can see, the central planners left these people with no choice to go into any restaurant whatsoever unless they disclose their vaccination status.
What do you think of the direction this country is going to?
Well, communism, no doubt. It's going towards communism.
And those restaurants that would accept Mr. Drew with open arms are given tens of thousands of dollars of fines.
65M 2021, all right?
I can't sign for this, boss.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to serve it to you anyways. I need the license off the wall. Your license has been suspended as you no longer have health approval. All right, so I need your business license off the wall. I'm going to put
I'm just good employee.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to give you the copy of the letter. You can give it to the owner. I need the license off the wall. Okay?
I asked Mr. Drew what he thinks of fellow Canadians who accept medical segregation with open arms.
You're good with that. You go to bed at night and you sleep well and you have no conscience, and it's a pretty dark, dismal place to be living if you're in that sort of state of mind. So good luck with that.
Soon, it will be illegal for commercial airlines to accept unvaccinated passengers on board for domestic flights.
If you have an elder relative who doesn't have a vaccine passport, well, careful. Make sure they don't come to this location, because they might walk in one piece and they might walk out with broken ribs. For Rebel News, it's Mocha Bezirgan.
Rebel News has launched a strategic constitutional challenge against forced vaccinations. If you want to know more, go to fightvaccinepassports.com, and if you can, chip in for our legal fund. Thank you.